what specific outcomes would you hope to achieve through training in leadership and culture building? So what we've been talking about, if you are that leader, if you're the person putting this together, being responsible for this, what specific outcomes would you be looking to achieve so that you knew you had the metrics, you basically had that vision or those concrete targets that you know you're going in the right direction?
So right now I have a team of 4 people. We work with a lot of freelancers, but I have a team of 4 people who are freelancers as well, but I call them my team because they constantly work with me. And they're going on a 4-month vacation from December to March. And that's what I consider a valuable metric. Not that we are just focused on work, because we hit our financial goals in March. We completed all our projects in September, and in October and November. So October was completing a few more projects, and November is spent getting clients for 2024. The way I do this is I break my goals down, not just in terms of finances, but in terms of how much I need to spend in terms of the people and how much they need to spend their time on these things. And also, what will they be doing after this? I don't want them to be like work, work, work and forgetting about the people they care about, because I was in a place like that once and I didn't want that. My family learned how to have fun without me being there because I was constantly working and that was only priority for me. And so even though they wanted to spend time with me, they were reinforced in learning how to do things without me. I don't want that for anybody. So here's what I do. I see what is the goal I want to achieve. I see how many projects I'll need to take on and for how long. I try to see it in such a sense that I don't have to get too many projects, get too many clients, but rather work with the right people who can pay the price I generally like to charge. So my retainer starts at $10,000 a month for this consultation. And we try to take, for 2024, my goal is to get 15 clients who will pay me that on a yearly basis. We meet our financial goals very easily with that, with just 15 clients who we have to work with on a yearly basis. To do that, I have one person who's working on lead gen, and they are getting paid very well. I have one person who's working on setting up a lot more other operational systems and everything. They're getting paid very well. So their work is not to manage hundreds of clients every month who are shitty, who don't have a vision, but rather they are focused on making sure the people who are very driven have things that makes their process a lot more seamless. So it's not just about hitting the big goals, but it's about considering other things which helps pave that system a lot more seamlessly. And there are very few founders I run into who actually think about it in that manner. A lot of people just want to overhire, but also they end up charging less for their work, and then they pay a lot lesser for the people, and everybody's frustrated. Why would you want that? You're working late into the night. I see all of these companies, these MNCs and everything that have employees working like middle of the night and everything. I'm like, why? It literally gets on my nerves. I'm like, why do you think this is what you consider work culture, that your team is working together in the middle of the night? They should be with their families. They should be having fun. If they run into each other outside, it shouldn't be for.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, that's not work culture, that's slavery. Now, the flip side of this, and again, I'm going to refer back to Reed Hastings because he talks about it in that book, No Rules, Rules.
Yeah.
And that was, they made it really simple. They says, look, we basically pay at the top end of the industry scale for whatever you do. And if you get approached by a recruiter, we want you to go to the interview, tell them what they're offering you so that we can stay abreast. You're not at risk of losing your job. You're encouraged to go to that interview so it keeps them current, but also because the work culture is that positive, it means when something happens that people do need to work through the night on a rare occasion, not as a standard practice, they will be willing to, because they're not forgetting when you took care of them, and they'll actually be there to do the work, not to just appear to be doing it. You know, that statistic, what is it? I keep on thinking Bain and Company, but I know that's wrong. What's the really big consulting company?
Deloitte.
It's another one. Oh, I'm having technical problems.
I'm very bad. Same here.
That's all good. Just give me one moment here. I'm sorry to switch on you here, but I'm having technical problems with my Bluetooth, so I'm just going to abandon them.
All right.
For something else.
Yes. I would like to share something in the meantime while that gets set up. It is too.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and do it. Just I'll know what you said after. I'm deaf for a moment, so please go ahead.
Then I'll just go ahead once you're ready and everything. Are you ready now?
Yeah, just give me a moment.
All right. I'll start when you're ready.
Them over. I can hear you sort of in the background. I just got to go to USB headset. Okay.
Yes, perfect. All right. All good now?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. What I was saying is that, I'd like to share something. So whenever I come across freelancers and they are extremely underpricing themselves, I never look at it as an opportunity to be like, oh, I can get a lot more work done for cheap. I often end up telling them, increase your prices. I'll pay you what it needs to be based on market standards. Everybody who works with us, so the way I work mainly with freelancers and everything, because that's where we don't have employees. We work with a lot of freelancers. I have two approaches. One, I outsource you, and then on top of that, I charge my prices, which is my preferred model. Or I refer a client to you and we take commission from that, because as a business, I still need to survive. Every time we come across a lead and everything, we still want to have an advantage on that. But when we outsource them, we never ask them to reduce their prices. We ask them to charge what they would charge, and we add on top of that, because if you're working with me, I don't want you to feel demotivated. I don't want you to feel that you're getting underpaid for the work you're having to do. And I work with people who are great at what they do. I work with experts based upon my clients' requirements and based upon the things they love doing, because we often tell people to niche down, to specialize. And I don't do employees because I don't want to hire you for doing things you love, but also make you do things that you wouldn't love. So if you specialize in a particular type of design, I would like you to do just that, because you'd be excited, you'd be motivated. And so I want to facilitate that. And I pay them very well. And I'm really not, so my revenue is great, but my profits are not be that great, because I'm not really concerned about that. As long as we make our cuts and everything and we get where we need to be, I'm happy how we got there. Because if by doing that, my team members are getting paid what they deserve, they are staying with me. They remember me. And it happened once where I was in a bad space where I needed to get some work done for internal work and everything. And I was not in a financial position at that time. And my team offered to do it for free. These people literally reached out. They saw a story, and I was like, I'm looking for some freelancers, even though it's not my general way and everything. I'm really on a tight budget right now. So I'm looking for people who would be willing to work on a different model. And these people are like, screw a different model. We'll work with you what you need. Just tell us, we'll get that done. And that's that loyalty you facilitate, you cultivate by creating that overall culture. That's what leadership is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I really like that. Bottom line is, when you treat people right, they're a whole lot more likely to treat you right. And
yes,
research shows on that particular point, money isn't actually what motivates people that much. Now, if you pay them too little, it will demotivate them.
yes,
But paying them more and more, unless it's like factory work where it's basically pretty mindless, it's about the only time you get a direct correlation between work and wages. So if you make twice as much, if you produce twice as much, you get twice as much money. Oftentimes when you take a creative, somebody who's doing less linear zombie type work, especially where they have, like you're talking about, some kind of expertise, it can actually invert it if other things of mastery, autonomy, and purpose aren't in place. If they don't feel, I really liked what you said about, you want to keep them in their zone of genius. They're happy there, and that's the work they're good at. It's like, here, go do this because you suck at it so you can get better. It's like, yeah, well, is that really what you want to be putting out as your work product is? You want to develop your people. And that's the mastery part. But if you can get people who are already great at something that they love, of course, they're going to be doing it better. And when something comes up, like you're talking about, they'll take care of you too, because you did it for them. Next one is,